Similar to yesterday, I'm going to start out with a troubleshooting quiz. And the way the quiz works is that I'll give you what the customer's initial complaint was, let you do some responses to that, then hand you a little more information along the way until we get to the actual solution. The issue is solved. I'm going to check this.
DougBot said I'm working here.
That works. And I'm checking my audio. Yep, that's all working. So I have audio confirmation all the way around. So client calls this morning at about, I don't know, 7:45 a.m., I think. And she works sometimes in the office and sometimes remotely from home. So as soon as I saw her name on the phone, I knew, okay, this is going to be in the office or remote. She's calling before 8 a.m., so probably remote. So she says, I'm trying to work remote today, and all I get is a black screen. That's what she led with. All I get is a black screen. And I asked, was this computer on overnight? And she says, well, I always log out. Look there, she's moved again. What is with you? I thought I fixed you. I did find something wrong yesterday with Wendy and Stormy, and I fixed that. I found that was adversely impacted by Princess. Is Princess working? Exclamation mark T. Getting back onto the troubleshooting issue. New people are saying, what? How did he jump? Yeah, Princess isn't quite right there, is she? Yeah, and her response to, was it on overnight or do you turn it off? She says, I always log out. Okay, not quite a direct answer, but okay. So with that much, customer has just a black screen on a laptop. The brand and model of the laptop is not important. It's going to be the same responses to that question right there. You're unlikely to get what was the eventual right solution because I haven't given you the more detail yet. Just with that much right there, what would you say? Because that much right there can be a variety of different things and have, well, I have one primary solution for that. If that was answered correctly. Greg M says sleep mode. Okay, so is that what you would do? Is you would tell your client to put it into sleep mode? I think obviously what he means by that is that he's speculating that it is in sleep mode. That certainly is a possibility. What would you tell them to do? Laptop was in sleep or hibernation. That could be. What would you tell them to do? Reboot. Okay, so I say, well, reboot your computer, and it says, well, I can't click on the Windows button. Is the power light flashing? Let me say yes. Or the power light indicates that it's on. And there's that little bit of a kind of a faint glow that you can tell that the computer's on. John Downey, hey everyone, if you're not a member, please join. Good content, it's only 99 cents per month. I think I might be publishing a members only video, probably today, but it will turn public after some amount of time, maybe 1 hour, maybe 2 hours. I haven't decided yet. But I haven't really done, I don't think I've ever done that. Martin Hogg points out it's Patch Tuesday. So what does that mean? If somebody contacts you with any kind of weird symptoms on their computer whatsoever, I mean, even if they just can't print, or their mouse is funky, or anything at all, I don't care what it is, start with restarting the computer. You might ask them if there's an orange dot or red dot down in the bottom right corner in the system notification tray that would indicate that it needs to be restarted to install updates. But if they just don't have the language, the computer tech language, to know what system tray is or to know what you mean by an orange or red dot, just tell them to restart the computer. Because I have seen that many, many times. I'm not saying that updates damage the computer, but an update in progress that has been installed but needs to be restarted. That can have all kinds of symptoms. And my experience so far, this cumulative update takes a long time to install for Windows 11. I'm not sure about Windows 10. Brightness control was so low as that the screen is black. That potentially could be. So then you'd be looking at what function keys on the keyboard control brightness and having them tap those. Hit touchpad or move mouse, and I'm going to say that this client had already done that. I'm going to tell you that they've told me they already done that, but tell the client to put themselves in sleep mode. I could have read that and guessed that it was Chris Garrett. Yeah, return on the keyboard. What happens if you type Control-Alt-Delete? That if this customer were to have done that, if I were to ask them to do that, it would have come up with the task manager, well, the prompts for, you know, the 5 or 6 items of what you want to do. But I didn't go there. Black screen is a problem with 24H2. That is not what she has. It was a Windows 10 computer. So now I need to give you some more, because that's I let you go down this road just for the symptom of a black screen. And I was about to tell her, hold the power button down for 10 seconds. That's my usual go-to, because it's very easy to communicate to the client. Hold the power button down for 10 seconds, and that'll force the computer off, then turn it back on. Current versions of Windows always recovers fine from that. I haven't found that to be a problem for a long time. But just before I tell her to hold down the power button, she says, yeah, I clicked and logged in, and then I just got a black screen. And I go, oh, it's not her laptop that has the black screen. She's connected to her office computer remotely, and that's where the black screen is. Okay, so now at that point, you know what? The things you've already said are kind of be right on. Greg M says, is this laptop got an external monitor connected to it? No. I'm not sure what impact that would have, because it's a window inside on her computer. Her Windows is fine on her laptop, but it's when she connects to her office computer, puts in her credentials, and then she's met with a black screen, which should normally be the office desktop. And that computer has 2 screens. Oh man, those are the kind of people giving the clues to the problem. They just have to be pulled out. Yeah, that's right. Newest update for Windows 10 is stuck several hours, has moved a little. If it has been several hours, I'd be inclined to give up on it by forcing the computer to restart, even if you're just, I don't know if that's a laptop or a desktop, but holding the power button down and forcing it off, turn it on again, it will roll back. It'll automatically roll back whatever it has failed to install in most cases. If you're lucky, it'll go ahead and finish the install. And then once it comes back up, I would go postpone updates for a week. And then a week down the road, try it again. Click in the screen area for the remote control, or do a Control-Alt-Delete. When you're with some remote software, remote connection software, when you press Control-Alt-Delete, you're getting the task manager for your computer, for the computer that you're sitting at, and not for the remote computer. Some of the remote connection software will have an icon somewhere that you can click on to send a Control-Alt-Delete. So what we've determined at this point is a problem with the office computer, not her laptop. What I did with this, and this is going to be beyond your being able to speculate, is I connected directly to her office computer, was met by black screen. And then I clicked on my button that is for sending Control-Alt-Delete. And then I opened Task Manager. Now, I did not restart the computer. So here's the next quiz. What did I do when I got Task Manager open that fixed the problem within seconds and did not involve restarting the computer? There you go, Greg M. Now tell us how to do that. How do you do that once you're in Task Manager? Chris Garrett says it did not roll back the time Joshy shut down during an update. Microsoft knows that it's Josh. Okay? No, I say that with loving humor. All right? Yeah, the remote, click in the screen area for the remote connection. So I think Greg M's experience with the remote software, where when your mouse is active on that screen, Control-Alt-Delete will bring up Task Manager for that host computer. I don't think that's always the case. Run Explorer XE, a new task. Yeah, so I'm going to bring up Task Manager. You know what? I need to test. Give me a !C, somebody, to make sure that you're able to talk to me, in case this next piece you're not able to see.
Raid chat, please.
Yeah, that worked. Okay, that's enough. Nobody else needs to try it. Stop right there. For those of you who are about to try it. I'm going to right click in the taskbar and choose Task Manager, and give me an ! Y if you are able to see Task Manager, because I'm not sure that you are. Yeah, you must be, because I can see it in OBS.
Why, certainly.
I've been here before. Yeah, there you go. Okay, then now that was a Windows 10 computer, so it happens a little bit differently. But over here for Run New Task, on Windows 10, it's going to be up in the upper left area. I think it's File menu. Click on the File menu and then Run. But here, Run New Task, and type Explorer, and then click OK or press Enter. Now, I'm not going to do that right now because I'm not sure if that'll have an impact on the stream. It could. But that relaunches Windows Explorer, which is the program that is responsible for displaying your desktop and all the icons and the taskbar. This is not File Explorer. This is Windows Explorer. Different animal, although it's kind of based on the same underlying code as I understand. So yes, and I've used this method many times. Chris is going to leave it, go for a haircut. That was a laptop he's referring to. Yeah, so do not want to do the force install thing. So that tells us that it's still on Windows 10. He doesn't want to upgrade it to Windows 11. And I would support that. No need to push down that road if you don't need it. Now let's go deal with some channel comments. There are some comments in here to respond to. Willie Wiggins. Let's see. Let's get reply and that 837. 837. There we go. Willie Wiggins. Sorry about that, Willie. Says, and this is on the video about Yahoo Mail. I've learned to deal with the new layout. Now, I have not been giving you all of the comments that have been coming on this video unless they introduce a discussion. I've learned to deal with the new layout. The full page message telling me to drop the ad blockers is about the end of my patronage of Yahoo Mail. Corporate profiteering is going to hurt them with this type of action, as I in no way will allow a web-based mail service to dictate how I prefer to use my browsers. It's been real, Yahoo. Okay, Willie, I got to give you a little bit of pushback on this. How is the corporate profiteering going to hurt them when their sole business is The only way they make money is off of advertisements and people who pay for the Yahoo Mail who won't see advertisements. If they don't compel you to see the advertisements so they can earn money, how do they stay in business? If they allow ad blockers to just proliferate and go unchecked, they'll be out of business. They won't be in business. Now, if profiteering means they're massively going harder on throwing out more obnoxious advertisement, then yeah, you'd have a point there. But you're probably already violating their terms of service by using an ad blocker. So just like any business, a restaurant can have a sign, we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone. It's quite possible in their terms of service that they might have grounds to actually disable your email account, which means all of your web-based accounts that have accounts based on that email address, you're going to have trouble accessing them, perhaps. So you're a little bit on the fringe of your anger towards them, but I understand your desire to not have ads, and I understand that you want to do it without having to pay for the premium service. That's all right. Now, I would suggest if you want to, particularly if you want to keep that email address because you do have it associated with accounts, is that you use a third-party mail program such as Mozilla Thunderbird. I know Jim is very happy right now for me suggesting Thunderbird. As my understanding is, you can access any email account with it, and it either does not have advertising or not nearly as much. I have not looked into what is the financial model for Thunderbird. I don't know that. But anyway, use a third-party program. And now, if you're willing to let go of your email address and move on to something else, then go ahead. Yeah, Lawn Dog is suggesting Betterbird. He's pointed that out a few times. And I haven't looked at it at all. How do they, Betterbird, how do they make money? Do they make money off of advertisement? Because when the service is free, or when the product is free, you are the product in some way. It might be that they are selling, let's see, is this it? Yeah, I guess this is it. It might be that they are selling information that they learn about you through your email correspondence, and they're selling that information. I came across one online payment system that the state of California was using for COVID grants, that in their terms of service said that they had the right to see what was in your checking account, because you give them access to your checking account. They had the right to use that information on the rest of your transactions in your entire checking account and resell it to third-party applications. It was in their terms of service. But when you start out with the state of California's terms of service, they said you're protected, but that they don't cover the sub agencies that they use. So yeah, if it's free, then you are the product somewhere, somehow, some way, either by seeing advertisements or maybe by them using whatever information they learn about you by virtue of your use of their free service. Free in air quotes, because it's not really free. Never. Somewhere they're making money, or they can't be in business. Lawn Dog, donations to Mozilla is a way they make money. Yeah. Now, does that mean they don't have advertisements at all? Are they solely donation driven? And it's possible because some free services use a lot of community support or open source programming where there are volunteer programmers that contribute their work to the product. So that could be the way. Oh, you have no idea. Jim was smiling about my presentation of Thunderbird. Suggestions about Thunderbird. Sorry it took me so long to get back to that. I kind of got on a rant there, I think. Oh, I got to finish with this. I got to finish with Willie, we are here but usually 6 days, up to 6 days a week. I've skipped a couple days recently. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. on Saturdays. And to respond to people's questions and issues and discuss Windows technical topics. So I'd love to see you come around, or you can even just ask questions by comments on videos or send me an email and I will reply similar to the way that I'm doing, either reply to your email or to a comment with a timestamp in the place in the video where we responded to whatever your comment or question was. So a thumbs up and a heart, and we are done with Willie. Although there might be other comments that come up through the rest of the show in the chat room that might be related to your topic there. So thank you for that, Willie. I appreciate you making the comment. Then let's see. All right, let's give a reply to this one. 1271. Sid Harsrin, I could probably pronounce that better if I worked longer at it. I'll just call you Sid. Says, thank you. Tech Tales 109, that's way back. That's years ago. Excel right click on sheet tab not working. So apparently that was helpful. So Sid, we are here 6 days a week to respond to people's questions and issues. You're welcome to send an email to this address or leave a comment on any of my videos. I'll respond similar to how I'm responding to you today with a link to the point in the video where we addressed your question or comment. And thank you for commenting. Then Matthew Barnes. Let's play it here. I don't know, is Matthew in chat today? 1326. Matthew Barnes, Dr. Nick walks into a bar. The bartender says, hi, everybody. Dr. Nick says, you stole my catchphrase. Anyone who doesn't get this, such as Doug, because he knows Doug doesn't get it. Google Dr. Nick. All right. I'm going to do it. Okay, so here I have a new chat ready to go. A viewer said this, quote, paste, quote, I'm not bothering fixing the wording of it. Wonder if Zoom will work today. Classic reference to Dr. Nick Rivera from The Simpsons. Yeah, I would not have caught that. His iconic catchphrase, hi, everybody, is always met with a cheerful, hi, Dr. Nick, from the crowd. It's a running gag that highlights his quirky and somewhat dubious medical persona. If you're curious, you can check out a compilation of his catchphrase moments or read more about him on Simpsons Wiki. Did it bring back nostalgic memories? No, did not. Not at all. But I will take a peek at that later. Oh, let's get back to where I was. Now, if anybody's asked questions in chat, I'm relying on you to draw my attention to it with a read chat, please. Thumbs up and heart for Matthew Barnes. Barados, sorry, Doug, missed the live stream tonight. Watching reruns. That's a regular. So I'm not going to respond to that with a timestamp. Thank you for commenting. See, then Dan Manson, solved upgrade Windows. Oh, we need to talk about this one. How to upgrade Windows 10 Home to Windows Pro. Let's get, I almost missed it. I almost forgot. I need to get my time back. Bottom right corner, 1466. 1466. Dan Manson asks, sorry for what is probably a dumb question. Not at all. Anytime. I don't care what your question is. Just ask it. But when I went to your link for CDK deals to purchase a key, I am wanting to upgrade from Windows 10 Home to Windows 10 Pro. The product description says multiple times this product cannot be used to upgrade your system from other version Example, cannot upgrade home version to Pro. Please help me understand what is going on here. TY for thank you. Dan, I think, now I've got a few things to give you about this, but I think what's going on here is they're just saying that that license alone will not perform an upgrade. You can't use that code to perform an upgrade. And yes, that's true. You have to use the technique that I demonstrated in that video in order to perform the upgrade. You perform the hang on. You perform the upgrade using the temporary codes provided by Microsoft. That performs the upgrade. Then you should be able to use that purchased license to license that installation of Windows 10 Pro. Okay? The Pro license will not, of its own, perform the upgrade. If you try to perform an upgrade and use that key during the upgrade procedure that I demonstrated in that video, it will not work. And I think that's what they're saying there. But it will activate the license once you have Windows 10 Pro installed. Now, that said, there's a problem with that link that you're using, is it's obsolete. I gave that as a code, that a link that was provided for a Kerry Holzman affiliate link. While you can still buy that, I don't think his affiliate code would still work. I don't think his discount code would still work. So on his, I went here to one of his current videos, recent videos, come down here to this link, and this link actually has his name in it. So you're not going to have to type in a code at the purchase time, at the time of purchase. I'm going to copy that link address and I'll click on that. And this takes you to SCDK Deals, which is a company that's related to the other company, but the other company was not able to deal with PayPal, so he switched over to this one. So I'm going to put that link into the description of today's video, and then I will subsequently go fix the link in my upgrade video. So here, let's see, hit the right keys. Oh, good grief. Yeah, we don't want to do it that way. Let's come back here, not that, but SCDK and copy the link from here. That's the ticket. That's the ticket. So now that link in today's video will get you to the discount purchase on that site. And I didn't even look to see if what the prices were on each of them. So Dan, I'm going to give you a thumbs up and a heart. You've got the link there to get you to this point, and I hope that was useful. Now, as I was considering your question, I asked myself, did I actually buy the code from Kerry Holzman's link? And the answer is no, because back then when well, you know, I don't know if I did or not. Well, yes, of course I did, because I had his link in there. So yeah, no, it'll work. And I think all their disclaimers mean is that you can't use that code when you're performing the upgrade. You have to use the temporary code from Microsoft to perform the upgrade. Once the computer has Windows 10 Pro, then this key will activate it. And then, let's see, I'll complete that reply. And then here we go, a comment from Kerry Holzman. And from yesterday's video, I would try this fix for the copy machine network access error. Yeah, I'm going to guess that Kerry didn't watch the whole video, because this link's not going to do it, but it is worth a conversation. Martin Hogg says, Windows 10 update seems stuck. Have you let it go for 2 hours, Martin? I wouldn't give up on it until 2 hours have gone by. Because I think this cumulative update, I know it takes a long time for Windows 11. I don't know about Windows 10. And And Chris Garrett earlier in today's show gave the same report where his Windows 10 laptop was stuck. How long have you let it go? Because some of these updates can take a really long time and look like they are not progressing. I would not give up on it until 2 hours go by. And also when you're talking, okay, here's another thing. If somebody calls you, they're having a problem symptoms on their computer and you suspect it needs to be restarted to install Windows updates, here's an alternative. Because we know that it might take a really long time. Go into Windows Update and defer updates. Use the delay updates. You can do that even if you have a prompt up on the top of that screen that says click reboot to restart. You can go delay updates, pause updates for a week, whatever amount of time. You can do that even though it is already partially installed. What will happen, and I tried this within the last day or two. I did this in the last day or two because there was an issue that I did not want the computer to restart and take that long time. I went and paused updates and it takes a little while to complete that. You'll see there was some kind of progress indicator because it's having to roll back what it has already partially accomplished. And I have had this fix whatever the symptom is. So pausing updates will roll it back. If the symptom is still present after pausing the update, then go ahead and restart the computer. It's not going to take long because it's not going to install the update. So that is what some people call it a pro tip. Pro tip. If somebody has problems with their computer and you know it's about to install updates, you don't want to take that time to do it now, go pause updates. You can do that.
Read chat, please.
All right. John Williams, I did 3
Read
Windows
chat,
10
please.
desktops and update finished without any problem. Yeah, I think it might have more difficulty on some computers than others. And on some computers, these ones that are taking a long time, it might wind up giving up itself and roll back. Your computer restarts, you get a message saying we encountered a problem, we're rolling back the update, something along those lines. So that depends upon if your computer has a problem. Martin Hogg says, see comment earlier, Windows Update seems stuck. So I think you're mean to see something even earlier because I already saw that comment. Let's see if you had something earlier to explain it. See, not me, was Chris. My comment. Oh, he was talking about Chris. Oh, he was trying to guide my attention to Chris. That was not a good way to do it. What you should have said is, see Chris comment about update seems stuck, something like that. This makes me think you're reporting that to me. So think a little bit about how effectively you've communicated what you meant. Martin said, to Chris, I had the same problem, open Task Manager, click on Performance tab, which show activity graphs, so it was still churning. Yes, that is a good thing to do too. That gives you comfort that it's still working on it. Oh yes, I saw this before showtime. Martin Hogg says, hi Doug, quick update on printer not printing web pages. The customer called me. I paraphrased, all right? He is using AVG and AVG safe browser. So I think that's the root of the problem. All good when using another browser. You could just go into extensions and turn off the AVG safe browser extension. I think that's an extension. And see if that also solves the issue. If you still have the issue, then that probably means it's a browser problem rather than AVG. Okay. Yeah, Greg M. under there ditching AVG. Oh, I got to get back on this. Yeah, Carrie Holzman's. How did I get distracted on that? I don't know. I would try this fix with the copy machine. All right, let's do this. grab that. 2100. Okay, so give the thumbs up and heart before I forget that. And then, so Kerry Holzman, I would try this fix with the copy machine network access error. I'm speculating he didn't watch the whole show because this is really not on the topic, but it has some interesting points. The issue that I presented yesterday, the troubleshooting quiz yesterday, was Windows 11 computer not being able to access the scans share on a copy machine, but the printing was working just fine. Now, this is after updating Windows 11 to version 22H2. Oh, this is old. When I had it in my head that this was about Windows 10 because I saw 22H2. That was my first clue that this was not on point because it was addressing Windows 10, not Windows 11. But no, it's Windows 11. It's just an article that's that old. Your network printers may not stop working. That's not the case at all. He was still able to print.
Please.
He was still able to print to this copy machine. Appears when adding, okay, when you try to add a new network printer, you get this error message. That's not what was happening here. The cause, Windows 11 22H2 introduced a new group policy called Configure RPC Connection Settings. This policy setting controls which protocol and protocol settings to use for outgoing RPC connections to a remote print spooler. Again, this was not the situation we had. Printing, the remote print spooler was working fine. The default setting 22H2 blocks Windows from finding your network printers. This causes your existing printers to be erased. Also not the symptom we were having. Adding them manually causes this error. The solution. Launch Group Policy Editor and go to this. Now, this is the part that I thought was worth kind of holding on to, particularly when I thought this was a Windows 10. But this is reporting as Windows 11. So now I'm not so sure. Because the reason why thought I was interested in this is because if this is a problem that is happening with Windows 10 computers, and they're all on 22H2, then it might be worth holding on to this piece of information. Now I'm not so sure. So you apply that registry setting for RPC over named pipes. Yeah, I never came across that in all of my Windows 10 with 22H2. I never came across needing that. But thank you for the response, Carrie. And that completes all of that. We are into overtime, so let's do a little catch up with chat. Yeah, AVG is still around. All of the third-party antivirus products, I think, are pigs because they're trying to justify their existence. In order to do that, they have to do something more that Windows Defender is not doing. And in order to do that, they're going to have to use more system resources. It's a separate browser, not an extension. Oh, AVG Secure Browser is a separate browser. Okay, that sounds familiar. Because he actually kind of named that AVG Safe Browser. Yeah, so that's not that is its own browser. Got it. Okay, where was it? Oh, Charlie Purdy, $10. Thank you, Charlie. Hello, Doug. Be watching from above on a flight from Boston to Miami. Hope I can join into chat room. Yes, you can. You just did
Read
it.
chat, please.
Very good. Thank you so much. And that is worth points. So add points. I will get to that read chat momentarily. Oh, stupid thing. I gotta go here and pick up his name that way. And what I do is add 2 zeros. That's the number of points for a financial donation. Okay, this last read chat. Nobody should be running anything AVG. Yeah, when I find it on clients' computers, I don't even ask. I uninstall it. Unless I can see that it's the paid version, then I will discuss it with them. But if it's like For my offices that are on, I don't use retainers, but they are my regular clients. I have relations with them that they say, they pretty much tell me blanket, Doug, whatever you advise, just do it. Don't talk to me about that. If there's a user that I think is intentionally insulted and they might do it again, I'll have the conversation with them. The conversation. Do that on your home personal computers, not on the office computer. Oh, there's the secure browser link. All right. Thanks, Wintermute. Putting that in. I don't think I'm going to try to absorb everything in here, just kind of seeing if anything catches my eye. The Nick thing is a copy of Cheers Norm. That was Nick's joke at the beginning in comments, not at the beginning, but over here. Or was that? No, Dr. Nick. Oh, this is the Nick thing. The Nick thing. Copy of Cheers. Yeah, well, that didn't take me to Cheers, did it? So is Jim saying that it's not Nick Rivera from The Simpsons, but rather Norm from Cheers? I think that's what he's saying. Oh, well, get out of here. Oh, yeah. All right, you can send an email to this address. Myself in the chat room, we'll do our best to give you an answer or an idea towards an answer or discuss it with you over multiple days if needed. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.